Welcome to the Respectful Divorce Podcast. If you are considering a divorce, it is important to know that you have options for how you divorce. On the Respectful Divorce Podcast, we explore those options and provide advice from divorce professionals. We also talk with divorce clients about what went right and what went wrong in their divorce. Now here is our host, Tim Crouch, with today's podcast.
We're talking today with Ann Conway, who is a collaborative divorce coach facilitator in New Hampshire. And thanks for joining us today.
Oh, you're so welcome. I'm pleased to be here with you, Tim.
So divorce is a really emotional event. And when you get those kinds of emotions, it has a tendency, I think, to stray from being respectful. Is it really possible to have a respectful divorce?
Yes, I believe that it is possible to have a respectful divorce. One of the really huge benefits of the collaborative divorce process is that both members of the divorcing couple have the support of the entire team, which in New Hampshire is made up of 4 people. An attorney for each member of the couple, a mental health provider like myself as the coach facilitator, and a financial professional. And we, the team of 4, work together to support each member of the couple during the process. The financial professional and the coach facilitator are neutral. We do not ally with either one of the 2 people that are getting divorced. We are there for them as well as, we're just there for them as a couple.
So you are a child of divorce. How has that experience impacted you?
It has impacted me very powerfully. My parents divorced when I was 22. It came out of the blue. There was no warning of it at all. And I am the oldest of 3 children in my family. I have 2 younger brothers. For me, it felt like my family had in many ways been sort of blown up in an explosion. And things were just totally different immediately. And I felt responsible for my mother, who was shocked, overwhelmed, depressed, and my 2 younger brothers, especially the younger of the 2, who was only 16 at the time. So, how did that impact my decision to become involved in collaborative divorce? Well, I'm a clinical social worker, and I have worked for 45 or so years in the field, and had worked in health maintenance organizations and in 2 separate private practices, and went to a training for continuing education units it was based in ethics, which is a required topic. And one of the attorneys mentioned that there's this collaborative divorce, and you guys ought to get involved. This is a really kind of an interesting role for mental health professionals in the divorce process. And it just sort of really intrigued me. And so I decided, well, when I'm ready to give up my private practice, and that was going to be when I became a grandmother, I decided I was going to get myself trained, a 2-day training, which is required of every attorney and every mental health professional and every financial professional who works in collaborative divorce in New Hampshire. And that was 2014 that I got trained, and here I am. I'm very involved in the initiative, in the organization. here in New Hampshire, and I am really enjoying working in this process and helping people to divorce with respect.
So let's just talk for a moment about your role as the divorce coach, facilitator. What do you do? How do you how are you involved in the case?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, I'm neutral, but I meet with the couple and assess, we really get a good history of their relationship and how they've come to this decision, find out about any children that they may have, specifically how the children are doing with the reality of the divorce becoming with the process of the divorce. And then I split them up and I talk with each of them individually. And I make sure that I make it very clear that I'm not going to keep any secrets, that anything they tell me may ultimately need to be shared, and because I cannot keep secrets from the spouse, and I can't keep secrets from other members of the team. That's part of the respectful piece. And I help the couple establish their goals for the divorce process. And I spend a lot of time coaching them on the importance of honesty and behaving with integrity and being respectful. And I help them understand the value of learning how to be this way, and the value that has in their finding a way toward a different kind of post-divorce relationship. That might be a co-parenting relationship. It might just be, if for one reason or another they decide to be in contact with one another, they have learned how to be respectful, to find the positives in one another, and move beyond the negatives.
Does it ever threaten in the course of the collaborative meetings to stray away from being respectful? And if it starts to move away from that, what do you do to sort of bring it back to where it should be?
Well, one of the parts of the process is that we can take a break from our collaborative meetings. We have larger meetings where the team and the couple meet to work on getting closer to finding ways to meet their goals as far as the divorce settlement. The other thing that I do if there are children is to work on the parenting plan. I forgot to mention that earlier. But in terms of what happens when one or the other member of the couple starts to lose it, get angry, or become very emotional, perhaps very tearful, one of the roles of the coach is to really keep an eye on how everyone in the room is doing. And that includes other members of the team. And there are times when we need to suggest that we're going to take a break. And there are usually 2 conference rooms and maybe even some other offices that are available so that, for example, I could spend time with one or the other spouse and just try to, help them get a grip on what's happening, and just sort of coach them on, okay, We need to focus on what we're trying to accomplish here. And we've got to try to find ways to get beyond whatever upsetting emotions are going on, and to find a way to just sort of take a deep breath, perhaps, and find a different way of communicating what you need to communicate.
So, does it work? Does the collaborative process work? Have you seen it work, and what do those results look like?
Yes, I have seen it work, and the results are that the couple, I believe at the end of the process, the couple has a really positive feeling about having accomplished this major, challenging goal of ending their legal relationship. But in particular, that they've been able to do it and feel all right about themselves individually at the end.
So in some ways, it almost creates an easier transition to move forward in your life than if it was a litigated process where all of the raw emotions get exposed.
I would agree with that statement. 100%, yes.
All right, great. We've been talking today with Ann Conway. Ann is a member of the Collaborative Divorce New Hampshire group. If someone wants to get more information about Collaborative and about Collaborative Divorce in New Hampshire, where do they need to go?
We have a website, Collaborative Divorce New Hampshire, and there's a lot of information on the website, all of the information about our members, how to contact them, and a way to contact us if you have any questions.
Great. Thank you. Ann Conway with us today.
Thanks for joining us for the Respectful Divorce Podcast. For more information on the collaborative divorce option in New Hampshire, go to collaborativenewhampshire.com, where you will find information on divorce professionals that offer the collaborative divorce option. Collaborative divorce is a better way to untie the knot.